too many people are utilizing the wrong method, they're utilizing the wrong process, they're using the wrong letters, they're disputing online, they're doing CPNs, they're doing templates, they are doing the illegal identity theft method, they have no idea what the hierarchy is, they are, contacting credit repair companies without having any clue of what they should be asking, and these are the things that are not going to remove negative items from your credit report. So if you permanently want to remove negative items, I don't care what they are, you hear me say this all the time, if it's a collection, a charge-off, a repo, a foreclosure, a late payment, an inquiry, a bankruptcy, judgment, tax lien, whatever, it can come off your credit report, but it's not going to happen if you are not using the right process. And that's exactly what we're going to go over today. And you've heard me talk about these things before, but so many people are still contacting me asking about how to use the wrong process. And that's why we have to go over this again and again and again and again. So if you are ready for some game changer credit sweep secrets live, then make sure that you stay until the end and smash that like, because just the same as it is free for me to give you this information, it is free for you to smash that like, right? Now, just so you know, and I will say this multiple times, if you are doing this the wrong way and you don't want to mess it up, because yes, you can totally and completely mess this entire process up, then the link is right there, my740.com. Schedule a call with me. I will see if I can help. Let me just move my mic just a little bit. I want to make sure that this actually picks up what I am saying. All right. So here's the deal. Let's start with what you should not be doing with your credit report. If you are using any of these methods that I have in red, then you're setting yourself up for massive failure. What am I talking about? Well, let's start with CPNs, all right? I actually have an entire series that I'm going to be coming out with talking about this because I have personally experienced something huge with this, and my experience can make it so that you don't go through the same thing. But you should never, and I don't care what you have to say, you can argue with me until your face turns blue. I have the proof to prove what I'm about to say. Do not ever utilize CPNs, credit profile numbers, all right? That is number one. If you are doing that, well, welcome to the world of getting to know the feds, all right? So you should not ever be utilizing CPNs. And again, we will talk about that sometime in the future, but we're gonna go past that. Number two, don't send out letters that have been received before by the credit bureaus. You hear me say this all the time. If you didn't write it, you didn't take the facts off your credit report, then it does not belong in the mail going out to the credit bureaus, okay? Another thing, this is number three, do not dispute online. We just went over this yesterday, and yet my very first three calls this morning, were, hey, I disputed online, and what do I do now? Well, we went over what you're supposed to do yesterday. So you're going to want to go back and check out that live that I did, okay? Another thing is do not, let me just get a little bit closer to make sure you hear me. Do not utilize the illegal identity theft method if you are not a victim of identity theft, okay? You can thumbs down, you can comment, you can do whatever and say whatever, but I've been doing this for 12 years. I know what else is out there. I know what companies use. I know what people are using to look for loopholes and fast way to remove negative items and all that kind of stuff. If you are not a victim of identity theft, you should not be going to the police station and saying that you are a victim of identity theft and that, oh, I lost my wallet and someone picked it up and my social was in there and blah, blah, blah. No. If you are doing that, you are screwing it up for the millions of consumers who are actual victims of identity theft who now cannot remove these things from their credit report because there's people like that who are going and utilizing this illegal process, okay? Which also brings me to the things that you need to be asking a credit repair company when you get on the phone with them or you go to their office looking for credit repair services. All right, so here's the deal. If you don't see what that company is doing for you, you don't get the copies of the dispute, you have no idea what their method is, they're just telling you, hey, we're disputing on your behalf, these are the negative items that you have, and, whatever, then guess what? They're either using identity theft, sending out the same letters for you that they are sending out for everybody, which is not going to get you any sort of results, or they're not doing anything at all, okay? I give all my clients every single copy of the dispute letters that go out on their behalf. Why? Because I personally, just from, a grown-ass adult type of point of view, I personally don't believe that you as a consumer should give up your basic rights to see what you pay for. You go to Walmart, Safeway, Price Chopper, Costco, you walk in with your money and your list of things that you're going to buy, and you walk out with your change, a receipt that says the things that you bought and the things that you bought, right? Yet it seems that only with credit repair, you are willing to give up those basic rights to see what you paid for, know what it was that you paid for, have a receipt that says credit repair right on it, and instead you are just even falsifying documents so that you can get someone else paid. Where in the world did you learn to do that? I don't know. I have no idea, but you should probably make sure that you actually physically see the copies of the disputes that are going out on your behalf, because guess what? They may be doing something illegal and they're not the ones that are going to get in trouble. Maybe down the road they will, but it's you. The cops are going to come knock on your door when it's identity theft. They're going to put you in jail for 6 months when it is fraud, okay? Which goes back to don't use the illegal identity theft method. It is fraud, attempt to benefit and defraud. That is a C felony, okay? I don't care if you went to jail, if you got in trouble, if you got caught smoking weed in a state that you weren't supposed to. I don't care what you've done, okay? When you come to me, when you're right here with me, you have a clean slate, and you want to move on with your life and fix these things that are on your credit report. That's the reason why you're here right now, because I have something to share with you that is going to help you change your life and move on. We are not trying to commit, felonies, just trying to remove these things. No, don't do that. No CPNs, no illegal identity theft, all right? Another thing that you want to know is if they are not giving you the copies of the disputes, what method are you using? What method are you using? Are you sending out the same letters for me that you're sending out for hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of other clients? If they are, guess what? You are just a number on a spreadsheet that says, hey, John is paying today. Make sure that John pays, all right? You don't want to be a number on a spreadsheet. You don't want to be a statistic. You want to get results, and you want that to be the statistic, right? You want 100% deletion. You don't want to be just 100% paying for a program, which brings me to the next one. If you are on the phone with a credit repair company, you need to know, hey, are you doing all of my accounts at the same time? Or are you just doing like one and then the other and then the other, or two at a time? Or does it depend on how much I actually pay you as to how many negative items you are going to dispute on my behalf, all right? If, listen to me closely, and I will get closer for this. If they are not doing all of your accounts at the same time and all 3 bureaus at the same time, then honey, again, you are a statistic. You are a number on a spreadsheet that says this person is paying on this date. Why do I say that? I say that because it is mathematically impossible, right? Mathematically impossible to be done in less than 12 months if you have multiple negative items and they're only disputing a couple of things at once. Let's just look at the math there. Let's say that you have some charge-offs and collections that take an average of, 7 to 8 months doing it the right way. And yet this company is only disputing 3 of the 9 accounts that you have. Doesn't that mean that you're not even going to get to the other half of the other 2/3 of what you have until maybe month 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 or 12? So how could it be that you're going to be done in these 45 days that they tell you, or these 60 days that they tell you, or the 9 months that they tell you, if they haven't even disputed all your negative items? So that is most definitely something that you need to know when you are on the phone with a credit repair company. How many negative items are you going to dispute on my credit file at the same time? If it is not 100%, hang up that phone or walk out that office, because again, number on a spreadsheet that says, hey, John is paying today. All right. So why am I telling you this? Why am I sharing this with you? Well, it's the same thing as I said yesterday. I want for you to succeed, right? This is, YouTube provides a platform for people to help other people succeed or learn things or whatever. And that's exactly what I'm utilizing this for and have been for the past 9 years, right? What I try that works, I share it with you. And when I share it with you, you come back and share with me whether it worked or not. That is how this goes, okay? So the things that I share with you are already proven, they are already tested, they are already providing statistics that are in our favor, all right? So that is why I share this information with you. You are the only one that benefits from it. I don't get invited to your house when you get approved because you utilize my process. I don't get a kickback off, the credit card that you got approved for, when I fix your credit and get you an extra 200 points. I don't get any of that. I barely get a like or a comment or a thank you, okay? So keep that in mind when I'm sharing these things with you, because you are the only person who's going to benefit from this, all right? Speaking of which, again, and I will say this multiple times because even though people watch my videos, they don't see the links or they don't hear me say it. If you want me to do a credit sweep for you or see if I possibly can do a credit sweep for you, no, there's no link where you can just go sign up with me. I have to personally offer my services to you because I need to know that I can actually assist you with your specific situation. All right, so you can use that link right there, my740.com. All right, all you do is schedule a call with me. If I can help, I will offer services. If I cannot, I will point you in the right direction. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, what did we start with? We started with the things that you should not be doing: CPNs, identity theft, templates, online disputes, phone disputes, things like that. What you need to ask a credit repair company. And these are the things that are only in your favor, not anybody else's, okay? Again, do not give up your basic rights to see what you pay for. Every single client that I have in my program sees the physical copies of the disputes that go out on their behalf. If I create a personal information dispute, it automatically emails it to them. Hey, what a concept, right? If I dispute all of their, inquiries at the same time, hey, guess what? They get all those disputes that I sent out. If I dispute all their charge-offs, guess what? They get a dispute letter that says, these are all the accounts that we disputed, and they have a client portal. These are the things that you should be getting from a company that you are currently with if you hired a credit repair company. Another thing is, you should not be disputing past 12 months. I forgot to mention that when I was talking about the credit repair companies, okay? You should not be disputing past 12 months unless it is part of a longer process of increasing your credit score, adding, trade lines and all that kind of stuff. Why? Because your likelihood of deletion goes down every single time you send out a dispute. So if you first sent out a dispute and you had 70% chance of deletion. Now we're talking about what? 60, and then 50, and then 40, and then 30, and then 20. And now the only way you're going to remove something is if you have a Hail Mary or you take the company to court, right? So you don't want to be frivolously sending out disputes. And that's another reason why you need to know exactly what that company is doing for you. If you do not know, you need to call them right now or send an email and say, I want to cancel. I want to cancel. Show me everything or I want to cancel. And you know what? If you are with a credit repair company, like you currently own a credit repair company and you don't provide the copies of the disputes to your clients, I'm not hating on you. I just think that there's a better way to help consumers out there than to keep from them what you are doing for them. There's only a handful of us that actually give the copies of the disputes, so at least tell them what you are doing and inform them of what you are doing with their identification and their credit report and their personal information, all right? Because it is in the best interest of protecting your company and your client that they know, okay? It also protects you from, refunds and chargebacks and all that kind of stuff. But personally, wouldn't you just rather share the information and be proud of what you're doing than to hide it from them? I don't know. That's just me. So back to this. Longer you dispute, the harder it is to remove whatever it is you are disputing. So that means that you should not be sending out these things that are like, hey, this balance is not correct. I have no contract with you, and that's the reason why you need to remove this account. No, I have no contract with you is not going to remove whatever it is you're disputing unless it's something like, I don't know, a third-party collection, okay? So there's a very specific way that you want to dispute specific negative items, and I actually have 2 playbooks that I created on this, and that's actually part of my credit sweep secrets series that I've been on this week and the previous week, where you can access these secrets and more that I use for every single client every single day going back 12 years. I didn't put the links up here, and I'm streaming directly through YouTube, so I don't have anything that can pop up and show you the links. So they are down in the description. The one for removing collections and to learn the full validation of debt process with all the dispute letters is sendme2.co/collections, and the one for all the credit sweep secrets is sendme2.co/get my cheat sheet. Let's continue. All right, so how do you make sure that when you are sending out disputes that they are like the biggest impact? They have a very, very high likelihood of removing whatever it is that you're disputing. Well, that all comes down to the method, because remember, we're not using identity theft. That doesn't work. Back in 2013, yeah, maybe I could have probably gotten things off in like 4 or 5 business days, less than a week, right? Now, 2 years. If you come to me saying that you're a victim of identity theft and you have all this proof and all these documents, someone opened businesses under your name and they did this and they did that and blah, 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 police report, FTC affidavit, blah, blah, blah. It's going to take 2 years going back and forth, back and forth. I'm a victim, no you're not. I'm a victim, no you're not. Unless you just straight up take the bureaus to court and sue them for failure to, abide by the FCRA 605B and, failure to remove these things that are resulting from identity theft, because they're basically telling you that they don't believe you and therefore they are not going to remove it, because there is a stipulation in the FCRA that states that if the credit bureaus or the creditor, the data furnisher, believe that you are not a victim, that you are lying, they can refuse to remove these things from your credit report. I mean, believe that. That's crazy. That is absolutely psychotic, okay? Now, when you're sending out your disputes, aside from the things that we should not be doing, these things right here, okay? Aside from the things that we shouldn't be doing, there's a certain hierarchy of your account and the parts on your account and the way that you should be disputing them with factual-based disputes. I'm not referring to any other method other than factual, okay? So what you do is you look at your credit report, and you can even draw a triangle on a piece of paper and literally take these sections from that, or you can just get this book right here, which is all part of the Credit Sweep Secrets Playbook. If you want to learn these things, how to create the perfect dispute letter, how to create the perfect dispute reason, how to structure your dispute reason, and a bunch of other secrets, it's at that link. The second one I gave you, sendme2.co/get my cheat sheet. So you could take a triangle and then put each of the elements from your account into this triangle. So at the top, these are the things that are most likely to remove your accounts. They're going to be date of first delinquency, notice of dispute, date last active, date last paid, date last reported, okay? So you would literally look at your credit report, right? Let's just pretend that this is my credit report. I'm going to say, okay, the date last reported says this date, and this date. Put them in the top of this triangle, this hierarchy. Okay, notice of dispute. Oh, there isn't one. Okay, no notice of dispute. Okay, date last paid. Date. Put it in the top of the triangle. The things in the middle are going to be high balance. Unless the high balance is lower than the balance, that is a huge blatant inaccuracy, okay? Or that you have a monthly payment on a closed account, unless you have a repayment agreement, that's a blatant inaccuracy. That's going to go at the top. Otherwise, monthly payment, past due, balance, things like that, they're going to go right here in the midsection. The bottom is going to be the things you don't want to dispute. What am I talking about? Type, terms, status, open date. I could probably tell you there's only been like 4 times with thousands of clients over 12 years that I've used any of the things at the bottom of the hierarchy and actually got a deletion. We're talking about thousands of clients. So it would behoove you and benefit only you to not do any sort of disputing by saying, oh, the, term says this and it's really not that, unless it is an authorized user account, but they're reporting it as, an individual account, or it's this, but it's reporting as that, okay? So those are going to be exceptions to the rule, but otherwise, this is the very, very simple breakdown of the hierarchy, and you have 19 different elements on an account that you can dispute, right? We just went over a couple of them. You can find the rest of them. I will go and post a link when I'm done, whenever it is that I'm done with this here with you. I will post it down in the description, but anyways, there are 19 different elements, and they all belong in one of these pieces of this triangle. Now, when you're disputing, every single thing that you dispute should belong in this top part of the hierarchy, right? Because again, that is where you're going to have the biggest impact, the highest likelihood that you're going to remove something, okay? And again, smash the like if you are getting any sort of, learning experience out of this, or I'm teaching you something that you didn't already know, or I am helping you in any sort of way. Again, smash that like. All right, so what do you do if you use these and it didn't work? You went down here and it didn't work. What do you do? Well, what you don't want to do is start utilizing those other processes that we went over, such as just saying, screw my credit, I'm going to get a CPN. Screw doing this the right way, I'm going to go and say that, oh, you know what, it's not, screw being inaccurate, I'm a victim of identity theft. I'm going straight to the police station. You don't want to do that, all right? What you're going to do now is you're going to go after the violations. And speaking of violations, we actually have a totally completely different process that we can use, and that is the validation of debt. All right, if you don't know about the validation of debt, then you can go to sendme2.co/collections, and I give you the entire validation of debt process, and it doesn't just remove collections. This can be used on regular old data furnishers, okay, so charge-offs and stuff like that, as well as collections, okay? So we are contacting the bureaus, creditors, and collectors using a polyangle dispute tactic, which means you're coming at them from all sides. So we're not just disputing with the bureaus, we are also disputing with any data furnishers for your inquiries, we are disputing your personal information, we are disputing directly with the original creditor, and I already said collector. Now, there is a specific way that you are going to do this, and a couple people did not agree with me on the time frames and the maximums that I had mentioned. So I'm going to clarify why. And I'm specifically referring to a couple of people, okay? So the reason that I tell you that you should put a maximum of 10 accounts on a letter is not because you can only dispute 10 accounts at once. No, I dispute every single negative item that a client has every single time that I send out a dispute. They have 100 accounts, I'm disputing 100 accounts. However, I want to send out multiple letters with the intention of something falling through the cracks, not getting marked as disputed, becoming a big pain in the ass. I'm also faxing the letters, I'm mailing the letters, I'm doing everything that I can to clog the system and for them to just say, you know what, it is not worth it, let me just get rid of these and this person will go away. That is the reason why I tell you that you should only have a maximum of 10 accounts on a letter. Otherwise, you can put 100 accounts. Doesn't matter. It's just part of my strategy that I like to send out multiple letters. Yes, it costs more, right? Obviously, postage costs money. It costs more. It's more work. It's more putting letters in envelopes and all that kind of stuff when I could otherwise be doing something else. However, it increases results. Everything that I do is to increase the likelihood of a deletion. Another thing is, someone else didn't agree with me, not this same person, but someone else outside of that disagreed with only putting one dispute reason per account. Let me explain why you only want to put one dispute reason. So let's say that it's going to take you 8 rounds of disputes to remove an account from your credit report, and we only have 5 to 6 different dispute reasons that we can use at the top of this hierarchy based off of your credit report. What do we do when we use one of them, 2 of them, 3 of them, which only leaves 2 or 3 remaining, and that was only 1 round of disputes? So now we cannot use the same dispute reasons, even though it came back verified as accurate. What are we going to do? Well, I'm going to tell you what happened when I utilized this process way back in the beginning, before I started with, real factual disputes and understanding the actual process. I basically screwed myself, right? So I'm sending out these disputes and I'm like, hey, the balance is incorrect. Hey, the notice of dispute is not on there. Hey, the date last active is reporting as 3 different days. The date last paid is reporting as 3 different dates. Hey, the date last reported shows that you didn't do an investigation. And those were all of my inaccuracies. And now because I put all of my inaccuracies on there and the account was not removed because of the letter that I sent, which was an actual template, because again, this is back in the beginning before I even knew better to not send out dispute letters that have been sent to the bureaus before. Now I put myself in a really, really, really bad position, and I wasn't able to remove that account within a reasonable period of time, right? So you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, right? You want to go after one. And if it doesn't work, you go after the other. It doesn't work, you go after the other. It doesn't work, so on and so forth, right? Because sometimes you are going to find that, you have to send out 3 letters for this account and 10 letters for that account, or that this charge off comes off in 4 months, but the other, one of the other bureaus, they don't want to remove it at all, and you have to take them to court, or it's going to take you 10 months to get it off. So that is why we don't want to put everything in one dispute letter. Now, I may put 2 reasons in one letter if they go together, right? Such as a violation and an inaccuracy. If they support each other, and I am very, very confident that whatever I'm using for that letter, for that method, for that strategy, for that client is actually going to remove that negative item. Otherwise, I put 1 reason. And I support that 1 reason with the facts from the credit report, right? So I choose whatever it is at the top of the hierarchy, excuse me, that is my number 1 dispute reason that's going to get it removed. I take the facts from the credit report, such as dates or balances or, past due, whatever, and I screenshot the actual account on my PC, and then I include that screenshot in my dispute letter, right, as an exhibit. We went over this the other day. This is what it would look like. So let me just find somewhere to write on here. So you have your dispute letter. This is the writing at the top of the letter, blah, blah, blah. Then I have exhibit, 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 and then identification, identification, and that's it. That's my entire dispute letter. Right now, you may be thinking, what if I'm disputing a ton of accounts? Well, there's going to be a ton of pages that I'm sending out, right? Whether that be faxing it and mailing it or just mailing it. So yes, I pay a crap load of money in postage just to get these letters out the door. Why would I not include things that I know to be just one additional way that we can prove that the bureaus are basically lying when they said that they investigated, or that, something is reported accurately. I can prove it just by showing you right there from the report that this is factual. And the beauty of factual-based disputes is that we're not coming up with anything. It is irrefutable proof that you are reporting XYZ. And here's the proof from the credit report, from your website, or from Identity IQ, or from Smart Credit, or from whatever, that shows that you are lying. That you are lying, and that you need to remove this, because otherwise it's in violation by continuing to report this account. If I had that proof, it's the same thing as an attorney going to, argue for their client, right? They're going to walk in and they're going to have all of their proof in their little briefcase, and they're going to say, oh, well, Your Honor, here's the proof that on X date my client was actually 25,000 or 30,000 feet up in the air at the time that this crime occurred, and here's them literally recording a video on this plane and being recorded by other people because it was, something occurred on the plane that everybody was, recording with their smartphones at the same time. There was a fight on a plane, and here's the proof. Don't you think that that would be something that would really, really, really have a high likelihood of helping out their client versus just saying, oh, well, they weren't in town at that time, so I think that my client should be, he's not guilty. I would have to say that I am right, and that the more proof you have, the higher the likelihood that these things are going to come off. So stop just sending out these things that are not going to remove the accounts. Another thing, and I mentioned this yesterday when I went live talking about don't dispute online. One of the worst things that you could possibly do is listen to somebody, right? We're just going to say somebody. Listen to somebody who is giving you all of these things that it sounds like they really don't know what they're talking about. And maybe I should clarify a little bit more what I'm talking about. You see, when COVID happened, there weren't many people, such as myself, that were teaching things or that had products or services having to do with credit. And then COVID happened. We talked about this the other day. And then it was like a gold rush, right? You had people sprouting up all over the place, even celebrities who got into it, who then got out of it because they're like, oh, well, it doesn't work the way that they said that it was going to, right? So you had all these people sprouting up all over the place who have no idea what they're talking about when they refer to, the FCRA and the FECPA and all these laws and all that kind of stuff, because all they do is these stupid dances or make jokes out of things or just tell you that a law exists without telling you, number one, how to utilize it, and number two, what to do if and when it doesn't work, right? Because I don't just give you one way to remove negative items. No, I've already told you what you shouldn't do and what you should do, and if that doesn't work, what you should do after that, okay? So you need to keep these things in mind when these people are just, telling you, hey, this law exists, and I use this for, a handful of clients, and it worked. If I created my programs, like if I told people about timeframes based off my best results, we would be talking about an instant program or a 5-hour program, because that's how fast I've removed certain things from credit reports. Bankruptcies in 5 days, charge-offs in 24 hours, inquiries instantly. But I don't do that. I give you an actual reasonable period of time that it generally takes to remove something, although I do have 2 different programs. I have an express program and a standard monthly program that I created specifically for YouTube, right? Speaking of which, I will tell you again, because we have new people here right now, if you want to see if I can personally do a credit sweep for you, okay, because obviously you're here to learn something. I don't have to learn anything, although I'm learning all the time because I study all the time. You can use that link right there, my740.com. Schedule a call with me and I will see if I can help. What does that mean? It means that, hey, I personally remove negative items from credit reports for consumers such as yourself who don't know how to do it or don't want to do it. And if I can help, I will. What that means is removing your negative items, increasing your credit score if I can, and helping you to add new credit, okay? That is the total credit health of someone's file, all right? Because it's not about this. It's about the mortgage that you want to get your family. It's about the loans that you want to get your family. It's about the credit cards that you need to support your lifestyle that you want, all those types of things, and I can help you get there faster than you doing it yourself, because there is no learning curve for me. I've been doing this for 12 years, and over the last 4 years, now 4.5 years, I've removed over 50,000 negative items from consumer credit reports. Now, how did I do that? That brings me to the next part right here. This is the one thing that you need to learn if you learn anything, okay, if that made sense. What I'm talking about is the Agero formula. I created this because I was struggling to come up with a way to write dispute reasons for my clients' accounts every single time. What, do I write it differently every single time? Do I know, how do I know what to include every single time? Well, this formula does that entire thing for you. All you do is plug the information in. And no matter how many videos I create about this, no matter how many, times I explain it, I still have people who in my comments as recent as 2 hours ago, who even commented on a video where I broke it down, asked me, hey, can you clarify what the Agero formula is? Yes, I can. And I don't mind doing it because this is what I do every single day for all of my clients, okay? The Agero formula is very simple. It is action, justifier, element, reason, outcome. What does that mean? Action is like delete, correct, remove, update, okay? Justifier is the word because. The element is one of those 19 different parts of your account that we were talking about. Balance, date less active, date less paid, notice of dispute, past due, monthly payment, type, terms, status, so on and so forth. There are 19 of those elements. That is the element. The reason is going to be the facts that support your reason that this needs to be whatever the action is: corrected, removed, updated, changed, whatever. And the outcome is very simple. That's a status change. So if you are disputing late payments, you would say an update to paid as agreed, or paid never late, or whatever, right? It's a status change, okay? You don't use that for anything other than really late payments, or if you're just trying to change a status, all right? Now, an example of a full dispute reason using the Agero formula would be, and this is really simple, delete this account for inaccuracy because the date last reported reports as 2017 on all 3 bureaus, which means that you did not do an investigation, because otherwise it would have been updated, right? Or you could say because the date last Paid reports us 3 different dates, and you put the dates in, and that is it. All right. So this formula can literally have anything plugged into it from your credit report or your client's credit reports. And I promise you that this is going to be the best structure unless you already know how to do this a different way, and that way is working for you. Okay. We're just literally taking something, plugging it into the formula. Take it, plug it into the formula. Take it, plug it into the formula. That's all that you do. All right. Now, are there times that you want to use templates? Yes, there are, and I'm going to explain that after I make one notation about the Agero formula. If you want to learn exactly how to do that, again, it is in the playbook. It's in the playbook, the Credit Sweep Secrets Cheat Sheet Playbook. Yes, that is a very long title. You can access it at sendme2.co/get my cheat sheet. All right. It's literally this entire thing broken down on how to write the perfect dispute letter, how to write the perfect dispute reason, disputing specific things like third-party collections, debt buyer collections, late payments, and charge-offs. And now the validation of debt is not included in that cheat sheet, but it is in the collections one, which is the same link except for /collections. Sendme2.co/collections. Why are we going to talk about templates? We're going to talk about templates because there are instances when you can and should use templates. Give me an example. Hey, well, all right, I have an example for you. You're disputing using the validation of debt to the actual debt collector, right? Third-party debt collector. They're reporting that you didn't pay the gym on whatever date. Well, now we're actually utilizing FDCPA 8078 when we dispute directly with them, all right? Now, if we're disputing directly with the creditor now or the bureaus, it's going to be 623 that we're using, but there are very specific letters that you can send out where you just plug it in your information, because it's not going to the bureaus. It's going to the actual debt collector that that they're collecting on behalf of the hospital or, utility company or cell phone company or an apartment, whatever. That is an instance that you can use a template. And why do we want to use the validation of debt? Well, the validation of debt process is just straight gold. All right. I use this all the time. Now, one of the steps of the validation of debt process is to basically prove that they did not do what they were supposed to. In other words, they violated by not entering the notice of dispute within 30 days, right? And we do that by proving, using one credit report that shows that there was nothing there when you disputed it, and 30 days later that when, you went and pulled your credit report, it's still not there, and thereby it's in violation for failure to enter that notice of dispute pursuant to FCRA 623 and 8078 of the FDCPA. That is what I use on round 3 for virtually all clients, all right? So if you want to access that and get all of the dispute letters that are included with it, as well as the small claims actions, how to use that, and all that kind of stuff, all of that in a bag of chips, you can go to sendme2.co/collections, all right? I give you a ton of stuff today. What you do not want to do, what you need to put in your dispute letter, what is the best thing to dispute at the top of the hierarchy, what is going to get you the best possible deletions, what is the validation of debt, what you should be using with the Agero formula and what it actually is. These are the things that can literally change the entire game for you, and all you have to do is implement it, all right? All you gotta do is implement it. Just listen to what I say, right? Wipe away everything that you ever learned outside of me and go and do what I say. I promise you, if you do it the right way, you will be able to remove those collections and charge-offs, repos, late payments, bankruptcies, judgments, tax liens, and inquiries and personal information, all right? I don't think I left anything out on that one, all right? So, but otherwise, again, that link is right there, my740.com. It's been almost 40 minutes. I have clients coming. I have to go. I will see you later. I might see you later on today. Who knows? But I also came out with an app last night. It is sendme2.co/CRM. So if you are using a manual process and you have clients, I'm talking about credit repair clients, and you're using spreadsheets or, PDFs and whatever to track your clients, their accounts, their deletions, and when their letters are due, then you're going to want to check this out because I created the app specifically for you that you can access instantly, and it's only $37, all right? One-time payment, $37. Otherwise, Link is right there, my740.com. The other links are down in the description if you want to access any of the resources, including the playbooks and the cheat sheets and my apps and my software and all that kind of stuff. All right. So I will see you guys later. Again, maybe later today. I have no idea, but the client's actually walking up my my steps right now right here, so I gotta go. I hope you have a wonderful day. Smash that like, subscribe if you have not, so that you too can increase your credit score, remove your negative items, and move on with your life, because that is what I am here to help you with. All right, so